Welcome to our deep dives.
Oh, yeah.
And what better topic to explore than the fascinating world of Christmas?
Okay.
I mean, we're talking about a holiday celebrated by billions across the globe.
Yeah.
A beautiful blend of, religious devotion and cultural festivity.
Right.
But what always intrigued me
Yeah.
is how this tradition,
Hmm.
with its mix of pre-Christian, Christian, and secular influences,
Yeah.
came to be such a global phenomenon.
It's truly remarkable how Christmas has kind of woven itself into the tapestry of human history.
Yeah,
It's a story of evolving traditions, right?
Yeah.
Fusion of diverse customs,
yeah.
and a testament to our enduring need for connection and celebration.
Okay, so let's start with the foundation of it all,
Okay.
the Nativity.
Yeah.
We all know the story, but I'm always curious about the historical context.
The Nativity, as depicted in the Gospels,
Yeah,
paints a vivid picture of Jesus' birth in Bethlehem,
right.
a humble beginning that would change the course of history.
Mm-hmm.
We have the angels heralding the news, the shepherds arriving in awe,
Right.
and later the wise men guided by a star bringing their symbolic gifts.
And it's fascinating how the date of Jesus' birth, December 25th,
Yeah,
is debated among historians.
yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
some believe the early church might have strategically chosen this date
Yeah.
to coincide with existing Roman celebrations,
Mm-hmm.
like the winter solstice and the Feast of Sol Invictus.
That's a theory that holds weight, for sure.
Yeah,
Sol Invictus, meaning unconquered sun,
right.
was a significant deity in Roman paganism
Mm-hmm.
associated with light and rebirth,
Right.
aligning the birth of Jesus, the light of the world.
Yeah.
With this existing festival could have been a clever way to
Mhm.
integrate the new faith into the Roman cultural landscape.
It's like they were saying, hey, you're already celebrating light and rebirth.
Right.
Now let's add a new layer of meaning with the birth of Jesus.
Precisely.
Yeah.
It speaks to the adaptability and ingenuity of early Christians
Yeah.
in spreading their message.
Right.
But celebrating Jesus' birth wasn't a grand fixed event right from the start.
So how did it evolve into the major holiday we know today?
It was a gradual process.
Mhm.
Early Christians certainly marked Jesus' birth.
Right.
But it wasn't until the Middle Ages that Christmas began to take center stage.
Okay.
Interestingly, Charlemagne's coronation as Holy Roman Emperor on Christmas Day in 800 AD
Wow.
played a role in solidifying December 25th as a prominent date.
So an emperor's coronation helped boost the popularity of Christmas.
It did. It really did.
Tell me more about that connection.
Charlemagne's reign was a period of significant expansion for the church's power and influence.
Right.
His coronation on Christmas Day, a deliberate choice,
Mm-hmm.
further intertwined the holiday with political authority and prestige.
Yeah.
This, in turn, likely contributed to the growing significance of Christmas throughout Europe.
That's a fascinating link I never considered.
Yeah.
It shows how historical events can shape the trajectory of religious traditions.
Yeah.
But what about the traditions we associate with Christmas today, like gift giving?
Right.
When did that become so central to the celebration?
The evolution of gift-giving is a journey in itself.
Yeah.
It's rooted in the biblical account of the Magi presenting gifts to baby Jesus,
Mm-hmm.
gold, frankincense, and myrrh,
Right.
each carrying symbolic weight.
Those gifts were certainly fit for a king,
They were,
even if he was born in a humble manger.
indeed.
Yeah.
And then we have the figure of St. Nicholas,
Okay.
a 4th century bishop known for his generosity,
Right.
especially towards children.
Yeah.
His legendary acts of kindness made him a beloved figure,
Right.
and his feast day, December 6th,
Ah.
became associated with gift-giving in many parts of Europe.
So December 6th was the original gift-giving day in some traditions.
It was.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But how did we shift from St. Nicholas to the jolly red-suited Santa Claus we know today?
That transformation is
Yeah.
a fascinating blend of cultural influences.
Okay.
The name Santa Claus evolved from Sinterklaas, a Dutch variation of St. Nicholas.
Okay.
However, the image of Santa with his reindeer and sleigh, his workshop at the North Pole,
Yeah.
and his list of naughty and nice children, that's a more modern development,
Right.
largely shaped, well, American folklore and popular culture.
It's incredible how a figure rooted in Christian tradition
Yeah.
morphed into a global icon,
Mm-hmm.
embodying the spirit of generosity and Christmas cheer.
It's a testament to the power of storytelling and cultural exchange.
Yeah.
The Santa Claus we know today is a composite figure,
Right.
pieced together from various traditions and interpretations,
Yeah.
reflecting our evolving understanding of Christmas and its values.
I'm already seeing Christmas in a whole new light.
Good.
But let's delve into some of the specific traditions that have come to define this holiday.
Absolutely.
Okay.
When you think of Christmas,
Yeah.
what are the first things that come to mind?
Well, definitely the decorations,
Okay.
the vibrant Christmas trees, the twinkling lights,
Yeah.
the nativity scenes depicting the birth of Jesus.
Right.
They all create that magical atmosphere we associate with Christmas.
You're right. Those visual elements
Yeah.
are integral to the Christmas experience.
Right.
The Christmas tree, with its roots in 16th century Germany,
Mm.
has become a global symbol of the holiday.
Yeah.
But the choice of an evergreen tree is more than just aesthetic.
Right.
It carries deeper symbolism.
I've always wondered about that.
Okay.
What's the significance of the evergreen?
Evergreen trees, with their ability to remain vibrant throughout the winter, were seen as symbols of eternal life.
Right.
A powerful metaphor in the context of celebrating the birth of Jesus,
Yeah.
who Christians believe conquered death.
That makes perfect sense.
It does.
It adds a whole new layer of meaning to the tradition.
And then we have the Christmas lights,
Yeah.
symbolizing the light that Jesus brought into the world.
Right.
The star atop the tree represents the Star of Bethlehem,
Right.
guiding the wise men to the newborn king.
Yeah.
Every element carries a story,
Right.
a connection to the deeper meaning of Christmas.
It's amazing how these seemingly simple decorations are imbued with such rich symbolism.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
And don't forget the nativity scenes, those lovingly crafted depictions of the manger scene.
Yeah.
They first emerged in 10th century Rome
Wow.
and were popularized by St. Francis of Assisi in the 13th century.
Okay.
These scenes serve as visual reminders of the humble beginnings of Jesus
Right.
and the core message of the holiday.
It's like bringing the biblical narrative to life.
It is.
Making it tangible and relatable.
Precisely.
And beyond the visual spectacle,
Yeah.
we have the sounds of Christmas, the carols, the hymns, the festive music that fills the air.
Yes, the music.
Oh, the music.
Yeah.
It's impossible to imagine Christmas without it.
It is.
Those melodies truly capture the spirit of the season.
From traditional carols recounting the nativity story
Right.
to secular songs celebrating the joy and togetherness of the holiday. Christmas music has evolved into a diverse and beloved genre,
Yeah.
reflecting the multifaceted nature of the celebration itself.
It's fascinating how Christmas music, like many aspects of the holiday, blends the sacred and the secular,
Yeah.
creating a soundtrack for a celebration that transcends religious boundaries.
Right.
But we can't talk about the sounds of Christmas
Yeah.
without mentioning those enchanting nativity plays.
The nativity plays.
Yeah.
Those performances, often featuring community members and children, bring the story of Jesus' birth to life
Right.
in a captivating and engaging way.
Yeah.
They're a tradition that originating with St. Francis of Assisi,
Oh, wow.
who, as we've seen, played a pivotal role in shaping many of our Christmas customs.
I love how St. Francis's influence
Yeah.
is woven throughout the history of Christmas traditions.
He did.
He seemed to have a real knack for bringing the spirit of the holiday to life.
He truly did, and his legacy lives on
Yeah.
in the countless nativity plays performed each year,
Right.
reminding us of the power of storytelling
Yeah.
and the enduring appeal of the nativity narrative. It's remarkable how a single figure like St. Francis could leave such a lasting imprint on Christmas traditions.
It is.
And speaking of figures who've shaped Christmas, let's shift our focus back to the evolution of gift-giving
Okay.
and explore that transition from St. Nicholas to the modern Santa Claus.
That transformation always intrigues me.
Is fascinating.
Yeah.
A blend of history, folklore, and cultural influence.
Absolutely.
We already touched upon how the name Santa Claus evolved from Sinterklaas, the Dutch version of St. Nicholas.
Right.
But the Santa we know today,
Yeah.
with his red suit, flying reindeer, and workshop at the North Pole, that image emerged much later.
So how did we go from a 4th century bishop to the jolly old elf we see on Christmas cards and in shopping malls?
Well, it's a tale of cultural fusion and creative reimagining.
Okay.
Writers, illustrators, and even commercial interests played a role in shaping the modern Santa Claus.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, the American author Washington Irving,
Right.
known for his tales like Rip Van Winkle and The Legend of Sleepy Hollow,
Yeah.
offered a whimsical portrayal of St. Nicholas in his early 19th century works, depicting him as a pipe-smoking flying Dutchman
Wow.
who delivered gifts to good children.
So Irving helped pave the way for a more fantastical version of the gift giver.
Exactly. And then came the iconic illustrations of Thomas Nast.
Oh,
The
okay.
19th century American cartoonist.
Okay.
Nast's depictions in publications like Harper's Weekly
Yeah.
solidified the image of Santa as a rotund, jovial figure with a white beard and a twinkle in his eye,
Right.
and a sleigh pulled by reindeer.
Nast's illustrations really captured the imagination of the public.
They did.
They gave Santa a visual identity that resonated with people and helped solidify his place in popular culture.
Absolutely.
And let's not forget the influence of Clement Clarke Moore's famous poem, A Visit from St. Nicholas,
Right.
more commonly known as Twas the Night Before Christmas,
Of course.
published in 1823.
Yeah.
The poem provided vivid details about Santa's appearance,
Mm-hmm.
his mode of transportation,
Right.
and his magical ability to deliver presents down chimneys.
It really captured it all.
That poem truly cemented Santa's place in Christmas lore.
Yeah.
It painted such a magical and memorable picture of his visit, and it's become a cherished part of the holiday tradition for generations.
It has.
And then, of course, we have the commercialization of Christmas,
Right.
which played a significant role in popularizing the modern Santa Claus image.
It did.
Coca-Cola's advertising campaigns in the early 20th century,
Yeah.
featuring Santa in his now iconic red suit,
Mm-hmm.
further solidified his image
Yep.
and helped spread his global appeal.
It's a complex interplay of cultural, commercial, and artistic forces.
It's fascinating how commercial interests, while often criticized for over-commercializing Christmas,
Yeah.
also contributed to shaping the visual iconography of the holiday.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, but despite the evolution of his image, Santa Claus at his core still embodies the spirit of generosity and giving associated with St. Nicholas.
It's a reminder that even as traditions evolve and adapt,
Mm-hmm.
certain core values persist.
They do.
You mentioned the naughty or nice list earlier.
Yes.
I'm curious about the origins of that concept.
That element ties back to the tradition of St. Nicholas rewarding good children
Mm-hmm.
and perhaps being less generous to those who misbehaved.
Right.
Over time, this evolved into the idea of Santa Claus keeping a meticulous list, checking it twice,
Yeah.
to determine who deserves presents
Right.
and who might receive a lump of coal.
It's a clever way to encourage good behavior, at least during the holiday season.
It is.
But on a more serious note,
Yes.
it's important to remember the real reason behind the celebration.
Absolutely. Amidst the festivities, the gift-giving, and the Santa Claus lore,
Right.
it's crucial to remember that Christmas commemorates the birth of Jesus
Yeah.
and the message of hope and love he brought into the world.
Well said.
Thank you.
The true heart of Christmas lies in the nativity story and the spirit of compassion, generosity, and peace that Jesus embodied.
It does.
Speaking of the historical context, I'm always moved by the stories of the Christmas truces during World War I.
Oh, yeah.
Those moments of shared humanity amidst a brutal conflict are truly inspiring.
Those truces were extraordinary.
Yeah.
Imagine soldiers from opposing sides caught in the horrors of war, laying down their arms to celebrate Christmas together.
Wow.
They sang carols, exchanged gifts, and even played football in no man's land.
It sounds like a scene from a movie, a testament to the power of the holiday spirit to transcend even the deepest divisions.
It highlights that even amidst conflict, our shared humanity can shine through.
It's powerful.
But it's also important to acknowledge that not all historical events related to Christmas have been filled with such heartwarming moments.
Right.
There have been times when the celebration of Christmas was suppressed or faced opposition.
That's true. I'm thinking of the Soviet Union,
Mm-hmm.
where Christmas was banned for decades under their policy of state atheism.
Right.
It's a stark reminder that the freedom to practice one's faith and celebrate religious holidays is not something to be taken for granted.
Indeed, the suppression of Christmas in the Soviet Union reflects a broader pattern of religious persecution that has occurred throughout history.
Right.
But the eventual resurgence of Christmas celebrations in Russia after the fall of the Soviet Union
Yeah.
speaks to the enduring power of tradition and the human need for spiritual expression.
It's a story of resilience and the enduring spirit of the holiday.
It is.
Despite facing challenges and bans, Christmas has continued to thrive and evolve, adapting to different cultural contexts while retaining its core essence.
Precisely, a celebration of Christmas has weathered many storms throughout history.
Yeah.
From Puritan bans in 17th century England
Wow.
to various forms of cultural and political opposition,
Mm-hmm.
yet it continues to hold a special place in the hearts of billions around the world.
It speaks to the profound human need for connection, celebration, and a sense of hope, especially during the darkest months of the year.
Absolutely.
It's remarkable how Christmas has endured and adapted through centuries of change.
It is.
But beyond the historical and cultural context,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the personal experiences, the family traditions that make Christmas truly special.
You've hit upon a key point.
Yeah,
It's the way Christmas weaves itself into our personal lives,
right.
becoming a tapestry of shared memories, cherished rituals, and family lore that gives it such deep resonance.
It's those moments around the dinner table.
Yeah,
The excitement of opening presents, the singing of carols,
right.
the laughter shared with loved ones. That's the heart of Christmas for many of us.
Absolutely. And those traditions often evolve within families,
Yeah,
adapting to changing circumstances, incorporating new influences, yet always retaining a sense of continuity, a link to the past.
I think about my own family's Christmas traditions.
Okay.
The recipes passed down through generations.
Mm.
The ornaments on the tree that each tell a story.
Yeah.
The silly games we play year after year.
Right.
Those elements unique to our family make Christmas feel both familiar and magical.
It's fascinating how these personal touches transform a global holiday into something intimate and deeply meaningful.
Yeah.
It becomes a reflection of our families, our values, and the memories we cherish.
Speaking of reflections,
Okay.
as we approach the end of our deep dive,
Yeah.
I'm curious about your perspective on the enduring appeal of Christmas.
Sure.
What is it about this holiday that continues to captivate us year after year?
I believe the enduring appeal of Christmas lies in its ability to tap into our deepest human needs.
Mm-hmm.
The need for connection, for hope, for a sense of wonder,
Yeah,
and for a time to celebrate life's simple joys amidst the often complex realities of the world.
it's a time to pause, to reflect, to reconnect with loved ones,
Yeah.
and to rediscover that childlike sense of awe and anticipation that often gets lost in the hustle and bustle of daily life.
Precisely.
And regardless of one's religious beliefs,
Right.
Christmas offers an opportunity to embrace the values it embodies:
Mm-hmm.
generosity, compassion, peace, and goodwill toward others.
Absolutely.
Those are values worth celebrating, not just during the Christmas season, but throughout the year.
They are.
As we conclude our deep dive, what's one final thought you'd like to leave our listeners with?
As you gather with your loved ones this Christmas,
Yeah,
take a moment to reflect on the rich tapestry of traditions that have shaped this beloved holiday.
okay.
Consider the historical roots, the cultural influences, and the personal touches that make Christmas unique to you and your family.
And perhaps even more importantly,
Yeah.
as you create new memories and share in the joy of the season,
Mm-hmm.
remember the spirit of generosity, compassion, and hope that lies at the heart of Christmas.
Beautifully said.
Merry Christmas to all.
Merry Christmas.